Support company rework. Support companies have not changed since release in 2016. It's had slight modifications with different expansions and different patches. But there's always been certain support companies that have been insanely strong, and then ones that have just been kind of meh, kind of optional. Well, they're completely reworking support companies, making them useful, having multiple uses, multiple bonuses, and making them more worthwhile in the long run. How, you ask? Well, they've released a video. Reaction time, boys.
Hello everyone, my name is Dijon Dillon, and I make quick and digestible strategy guides for Hearts of Iron 4. In today's video, I'm extremely fortunate to be teaming up with Paradox Interactive to show you the support
Whoa! What is this support company? It kind of looks like an engineer with the spade, but there is no engineer, but it has 6.5 entrenchment. So this tells me this is a replacement for entrenchment, and this is a paratrooper, but a tank. Paratrooping tanks, and also we have super heavy tanks as a support company, but we already found that out from the beta patch a few weeks back.
Company features in the Arms Against Tyranny expansion. So, let's get into it. There are a lot of exciting additions to the support company family. Let's start with the addition of the Special Forces support companies. To unlock these support companies, go into your Officer Corps, and then down at the very bottom is your Special Forces Doctrine.
Oh! It's a new tab, boys! Can you see that? So the Officer Corps has an extra little tab at the bottom and a scroll wheel now, and more Special Forces. I wonder if they're going to add more buttons down here. Like, will they actually be certain Officer Corps that are unique to Special Forces? Oh, that would take Special Forces rework to a whole new level. Yes, to be fair, this is not just support companies. This is a Special Forces rework too.
You'll see in each doc.
Oh, here we go, boys. We've already seen this before. However, seeing it full resolution, zoomed all the way back, is pretty nice. What's this? Mountaineers Super Ski Dude S label. Is that meant to be there? Did that sneak in there?
Auction, you have the option to unlock different support companies.
Whoa, he's got... Hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm sorry, guys. There's so much to look at here. But just look here. He's unlocked all 3 tiers. So usually, as a part of land, naval, and air doctrine, you can only unlock one of the 3 tiers. But this one, he's unlocked all 3. I believe you can't do that from the start of the game. You need to kind of maybe have a decision or maybe unlock your regular doctrines. They've not actually explained how you do that.
Companies. You get the option to add Rangers, Pioneers, and yes, even Airborne Light Armor. Each support company.
So these, to me, look like replacements for reconnaissance. So we have Rangers. See if we can make out what they do. So they're reconnaissance, they're Rangers. And it looks to me like they're a soft Mountaineer, because they have defense and attack in hills and mountains, right? Am I misunderstanding this?
To add Rangers.
So Rangers are a reconnaissance Mountaineer.
Pioneers.
So this looks to me like an engineer Marine/engineer, like fused into one, because we've got entrenchment, but plus we've also got attack into wetlands and amphibious and rivers.
And yes, even Airborne Light Armor.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, guys. Listen, you've already known my opinion on engineers, already controversial. You don't need to hear it again. But overall, this, for me, is groundbreaking. The ability for me to select a Pioneer, which potentially could be cheaper, which is just solely for the purpose of naval invasions. It makes me wonder what is going to be better. Am I going to be better off making the engineers, or am I better off making a specific Marine engineer? To be fair, this isn't much difference to a regular engineer, because the regular engineer also has an amphibious invasion bonus as well as a speed bonus on river, but this gets an attack bonus on river as well as,
and yes,
an airborne armor. So it looks like it's given a massive movement speed bonus and reconnaissance, and that seems to be it. Loses 0.5 armor. I wonder if it's based upon the kind of armor type that you make. Does this mean we're gonna have a specific tank chassis for airborne only? That feels a bit excessive, but regardless, this is pretty cool. Probably out of the 3, probably airborne light armor is probably the one I'd touch the least.
Even Airborne Light Armor. Each support company has a unique and dynamic use. Let's start with Rangers. They're a combat or...
Okay, what we got here? So Rangers has movement, defense, and attack. Attack on plains? I mean, attack on forests, hills, and mountains and plains is like a no-brainer. Why would you not select this? This feels like something you cannot go without. At the end of the day, we've talked about reconnaissance. In the old days of light tank reconnaissance, you could break the game by having these space engineers with lots of armor. They nerfed that. So in all fairness, it's come back to kind of reconnaissance being kind of lame, kind of crap. But this is big.
Oriented Recon Company. Keep in mind, they cannot be combined with other recon companies.
So they are a unique recon class. That's cool. That's
They
cool.
increase combat stats and give terrain bonuses in forest, plains, and jungles. They have a higher organization than their armored counterpart, and they also give you reconnaissance. Next up is Pioneers.
So Pioneers have got attack into forts. Wow, big attack into forts. Rivers, amphibious, and marshes. They're kind of like doing an engineer thing, but also with forts as well. The only problem I find with Pioneers is there's a bit of an overlap with them and engineers. So it's kind of like, how do I compare the two side by side?
Pioneers are an engineering company variation. They boost the division's combat stats and even give entrenchment. And they can even be combined with engineering company to have
Whoa, what? Double engineers all the way.
That beautiful squad cohesion.
Now this surprises me. I didn't think they'd do this. So this potentially means you can double up your entrenchment. This is going to be the meta. Everyone's going to do this. This offers way too many attack bonuses and way too many defense bonuses. Every player is going to do this. You'd be stupid not to.
Airborne Light Armor Company is an armored company.
This is what I expected. Just speed and reconnaissance. Is that
allows light tags to be paradropped alongside.
But they allow you to be paradropped.
It makes your paratrooper divisions considerably stronger by increasing all the combat stats and adding armor into them. It also gives movement bonuses to rivers, forests, hills, mountains, plains, jungles, marshes, and deserts. The last, but arguably one of the most exciting support companies added is the
Okay, so we've done the calculations on this one. For the amount of armor that you gain as a part of the division and the cost you put into it, super heavy tanks in the beta patch that they released several weeks back weren't very cost effective. So I am on the fence with this. The only big advantage is it's not affecting combat weight, and it is a support brigade, which potentially could add a lot of armor on. However, it's not cost effective. It's not cost effective, meaning the amount of production you put into it does not result in a substantial amount of armor compared to a battalion. So from my honest opinion, I would probably rarely do this.
Super heavy tank support company. This support company might have a little bit of production cost, but the boosts you get in your combat stats, especially the breakthrough armor and piercing, are incredible. You also gain bonuses to attacking forts, but you do get debuffs in both mountains and hills.
No. Okay. I personally think for the amount of money that you put into this for a super heavy tank, the amount of bonus you get for attacking forts should be substantially higher. 10%. Wasn't the base amount in the previous patch something like 30? Prior to when it was a battalion?
In both mountains and hills. Super heavies have been changed, so they can only be used as support companies now as well. Engineering companies, field hospitals, military police.
Why not both, Paradox? Why not both?
Pioneers, flame tanks, and all the recon companies' stats have been changed to scale depending on what type and how many units have been added to the template. This can be visualized by hovering over any of the mentioned support companies. A good example of this is how Engineering Company works. It used to start with a 5 flat rate, but now it's dependent on how many leg infantry you have in your template. As you can see, as I added more line infantry, this causes the entrenchment stat to increase.
So now, based on the size of the division, the amount of battalions the division has, it will now add a scaling bonus based upon having that support company as a part of the division. In this case, the field hospital not only will give the regular bonuses, which are pretty awesome if you stack them high enough, but you will also get HP based on the infantry battalions as well. It also gives you kind of a nerf to engineers because they give less entrenchment. However, if you make the division big enough, you could potentially get more entrenchment than you did before. Hence, the double engineer thing I talked about earlier is going to be broken.
Now give HP for all the infantry and motorized and mech added to the template, making the use of it a lot more dynamic in your templates. Military.
When he means dynamic, he says good, useful. So what's this? Military police add division recovery rate 20%. Okay.
Police also got...
I feel like multiplayer meta people, number crunchers will love this. For a single player experience,
a nice notable change of getting 20% recovery rate for all infantry and motorized mech added to the template. This gives military police a notable use outside of garrisons. Cavalry, motorized, and light armor recon all gain soft attack from line and
so when you add, can't actually see it,
artillery.
A cavalry recon on, specifically cavalry, it will give you 10% soft attack for every battalion of line artillery. Guys, that's the meta. That will be the meta. That's just too strong to ignore. It's just too much soft attack. At the end of the day, stacking soft attack has always been the meta, all right? Okay, super effective in single player. Maybe not so much in multiplayer, but honestly, I can't see why you would not do this. Particularly cavalry recon, which is really cheap too.
Armored Recon Company now gets a heart attack bonus depending on...
So Armored Recon gains a hard attack bonus for every single tank. Oh, Christ. So that will be the meta, won't it, of tank divisions. You're making you 40 with tanks. You're definitely having this on now.
On how many tanks and armored variants are in the template. Depending on what land doctrine you take, you can increase the bonuses you receive from your support companies, such as getting an additional breakthrough modifier on light
breakthrough for armored cars. I like this because it makes armored cars useful outside of ever. I mean, breakthrough on tanks, armor on tanks, hard attack on tanks. I mean, everyone's going to want this, so this will be a meta as well.
Armored Recon Car Company in the Mobile Warfare Doctrine, or gaining air attack on cavalry.
For every recon you've got, this increases air attack. This one's not so good because I don't think having more air attack for anti-air battalions is really that effective anyway in single player. Multiplayer, probably a big deal. I'm not sold on single player.
And motorized recon in the Superior Firepower Doctrine, or choose a defense bonus on logistics companies.
I mean, you're always going to have logistics on your divisions anyway. It's literally the meta at the moment. It works for everything effectively. The only thing it's not effective for is for like divisions that are 10 width. But overall, logistics are so strong that you're going to be benefiting from this anyway. Extra defense. This is going to allow you to stack defense way more heavily than you've ever done before. But 5% is quite small compared to the 10% you get for the soft attack for the recon,
from
for the line artillery.
And lastly, an organization modifier on light armored recon car in the mass assault doctrine. Thank you so much for watching. In the next tutorial,
the best changes about this that I'm loving the most is the ones that are like MP and armored cars, which have fallen off and no one really makes them anymore, whether for single player meta or multiplayer meta. I know I keep saying meta, but no one's making them anymore. If you want to role play and you've role played with them and they were really strong, listen, be my guest. I'll let you role play, okay? But the truth behind it is when it comes down to a number crunching, the spreadsheet meta, they've never been very good armored cars or MP outside of occupation laws. It's such a big change to me because these are the core mechanics I've been used to for the last 5 years. Are we going longer than that? Yeah. And it's nice to see them get a shake-up because they're well need for some love. If I could make a request to the Paradox gods, I love you. Please add some officer cores for special forces, just to make officer cores that just tiny little bit sweeter. Oh, please. Please. And don't forget, if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Boop. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.